I am Fiar, vocalist of Foscor. We are from Barcelona, Catalonia, in Spain. We are here in Brutally Delicious, chatting a little bit about our new album and having a great time with these two gentlemen. Well, it's a pleasure to me to be sharing that time with you guys.
Okay, we're on.
All right, so good morning. Anyway, I went to class last night, taking an exam in philosophy. Well, it's actually a quiz or whatever. And the guy, 10 questions, multiple choice. You know what multiple choice questions are? Everybody here is. You get 4 questions.
Oh, yeah.
One of them is the right answer. So he does the whole thing, passes them in, and then he goes over it. And he gets to the first question, and some kid raised his hand and he said, well, I would have picked that right answer, except you had 3 wrong ones there, and they were kind of tricky. So I said, what? And the guy's like, well, that's what tests are. You have to pick the one that's correct from doing the reading and your homework. And the guy's like, well, I would have picked that one if there weren't those other ones that were, could have been possibilities. And he was arguing. He was arguing that it was tricky because there was 4 answers to choose from, and only one of them was right.
But lots of them were similar.
Not even. I mean, one of them was sort of similar.
Yeah.
The other ones were not even close.
Yeah, I did that all the time as a teacher. I made one right answer, but the other ones were similar because
this kid was like having a fit about it.
Oh, I've had students like this. And it's funny. Have you ever read the book The 4-Hour Workweek?
Mm-mm.
So he had a theory: if you're a student and you want to get really good marks, the best way to do that is when you get your test back, book private time with your teacher. Or in class, argue with the teacher a lot about why it's the wrong answer. Because then the teacher just gets sick of you and they just mark you more leniently.
Nice.
Yeah.
Maybe he read that book, because I swear to God, 10 minutes went by. This kid was like trying to defend why he got the wrong answer, because he didn't understand why there should be 3 others that could have been close. And only one was right.
I'm going to guess this kid was in his 20s.
Dude, I feel pretty old in this class. This one's like, there's a couple kids my age. One guy who knows everything about everything. He's probably, in his late 40s.
Yeah.
He's a knucklehead too. He knows everything. I mean, it doesn't matter what the topic is. He's been there, done it. And then there's a lot of these kids that, come in late, leave halfway through, answer their phones in class. It's great. Smelling
like weed.
Oh yeah, it's really fucked up. But I thought you'd get a kick out of it, because I just looked at this kid while he was arguing his point. I'm going, I would just throw him out of the class if I was a professor. I couldn't do it.
Oh yeah. No, you have to deal with that shit as a teacher. I taught for a long time, and I've seen some crazy stuff.
My God, what are we teaching these kids? Like, it's a multiple choice, but we're only going to give you one answer, and that's going to be the right one.
That's what a multiple choice is. All 4 answers are correct. I'm going to hold your hand and say you're smart, okay? Thank you.
I guess I should have known that, but I was completely blown away by it. And I figured I jotted it down. I figured we'd talk about it today because that was pretty funny.
Oh, man. I had this student one time who shall remain nameless. But anyways, I'm teaching this class, and I've had a few problems with him. Like, he's always late. And in Vancouver, like, weed is, at the time, even though it was illegal in Canada, it was legal in Vancouver.
Right.
So kids would just, they would come in with huge bags of weed in their backpack, and the class would just reek, which, I mean, whatever. It's
right.
I got no problem with the grass, but, is school really the right place for it? I don't know. But then, so anyways, he comes in like this a lot. And one day he comes in and he just lays his head on the desk and he's snoring. He's sleeping. Snoring. So I walk over and I'm standing right behind him, and I'm still teaching, and all the class is looking at me. And I grab this book and I'm just standing there, teaching. And then I just stop for 3 seconds, and the whole class is just staring at me like, what's this silence for? And I take the book and I just slam it on the desk beside this kid. And he's like, fuck, man, what the fuck? What the fuck are you doing? Fuck off. Oh, fuck you, man. Fuck this. And I was like, dude, you're sleeping in my class and snoring. You're interrupting my class. You don't have to be such a dick about it. I'm tired. I was like, dude. He's like, I was up all night. I was like, that's really not my problem. Nor is it the problem of anyone else here. That's your problem. So anyways, I tell my boss about it, like, because, you know, the hierarchy of the school, you know, sure. I had the department head. So I tell him about it. He's like, okay, well, if it happens again, you know, let me know. I was just like, fuck, that's it? So anyways, he comes in again. Like, he skips the next class, comes in a few days later. And he's fucking sleeping again. So I asked the whole class to leave. So the whole class got up and left. And I fucking turned on the frequency, like odd harmonic frequency, which is like piercing to the ears. Mm-hmm. I put earplugs in and I fucking cranked the speakers up. Put earplugs in and hit play on this tone. This kid wakes up. He's like, what the fuck? Where is everyone? What's going on? Oh my God, did I miss class? I was like, get the fuck out of my class. You're out. See you later. Go talk to the department head. I'm not dealing with you. Well, I'm here. I paid my tuition, yada, yada, yada. I don't care. Then I asked the rest of the class to come in. And I was like, I'm going to use this as a way to explain odd harmonic structures and how they're really grating on the nerves.
Nice.
Like, oh my God, man.
That's great.
Fuck. Students, man.
Very good stuff. I can't believe
I've had students rolling joints in the back of class.
Really?
Yeah. And, and they think I don't know. Like, dude, I was a freaking musician for you know, a touring musician for freaking years. If you don't think I know what's going on, you're so wrong.
That's so funny. And I don't understand, like, because, I mean, in Canada, you're still paying for school anyway, right?
It's not like you pay here.
Oh, it's not. But you're still paying something. So, I mean, you're still paying money to go.
Yeah. The average tuition at the university in Canada is like $8,000.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So it's pretty small.
So I work for the university police here in my regular job.
Yeah.
And we dispatch all the time. And so now school has just started. And you wouldn't believe the kids blowing their scholarships. Like, they're full scholarships in the dorms. And then they're packing bowls like in their dorm room, like they're not going to get caught. And there's like at least, I think, 6 people in the last 2 weeks. They just throw them right out of the dorms.
Really?
Yeah. There's no second chance. You fire up in the dorm room.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Because like down here, weed is like heroin. It's like you're going to jail. So you know, unless you're in DC, which is not far from here, but like in Virginia, it's like. It's a serious freaking offense, man. Like, you can't have that. So,
but these kids with mom and dads, you know, I got scholarships, I got mom and dad's money. They get thrown out before classes even start. Like, they have that week of adjusting, and the first day they're like, "Hey, I got an idea."
I know what I'm gonna do with $80,000 worth of free money. Let's smoke weed in the dorm.
Yeah. The hall smell, people start calling all over the place like, hey, somebody, and how are you going to get away with it? They go right to the floor, right to the door, and it's like, you know, it's Cheech and Chong coming out the bottom of the door. The kid hasn't even stepped foot in the classroom yet, and he's lost his scholarship. Pretty awesome.
Are the university police a little bit more lenient? Like, they just take the scholarship, they don't throw them in jail?
Well, so the laws are a little bit fuzzy. If it's a certain amount, they kind of just write them a ticket. You know, to go appear in court, and I think they just get like a fine or something. But the university itself has a zero tolerance.
Okay,
if you're caught smoking or doing any of that stuff,
you're out.
Underage drinking in their dorms, they don't fuck around. They're like, see ya. There's no second chance.
That's good.
Yeah, but kids don't get it. I guess they're, you know, like this kid here. I don't know what a multiple choice is. You didn't just give me the right answer. It doesn't matter if I'm going to burn one. You need to give me another chance or whatever.
Well, the thing is, I think the public system, and this is true in Canada as well, they're raising pussies.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
terrible.
It's like, I understand, like, you have to give kids leeway if they have learning disabilities or maybe they have some behavioral issues, and you have to take the psychology into account for it. But if something's wrong, it's wrong.
Right.
There's no like you can't give someone 50% on a test if they didn't answer a question.
Nope.
But that's what's going on right now, you know? So
I hate to keep talking about my job, but I get those calls at the police station. Parents call and say, "Hey, something's not right. You know, my kid's he didn't do well on this test. He should have done." What are you calling the police for that crap for?
You need to go arrest that professor. Call him in. My kid, all he did was light up a blunt with him and his 5 friends in his dorm room.
It's absolute insanity, dude. I sit there and go, what in the world? How did we get here?
Yeah, no, it's pretty. I agree with a lot of the educational stuff that's going on. Like I said, like behavioral stuff and learning disabilities. Sure. But you can't send someone from that system into a world that's exactly the opposite. Right? Like, you get into university, the professor doesn't give a fuck about you. You're there.
Even if you come to class, right?
He doesn't give a fuck. You know, if you're not there, you're not there. You paid. Right. And if you are there and you're not doing well, whatever. That's your problem. He's got 600 other students he's teaching.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
yep.
And then when you get a job, your boss isn't going to be like, oh, you know, we really have a zero tolerance policy with weed in the office. This is your first warning, though.
Right. You can't smoke in your cubicle. Yeah. People crack me up.
Okay, before we get started, I have one more question.
Yeah.
And it's because I did this the other day and I got the strangest look and I was like, what the fuck did I do wrong? So I was at a gas station and said, oh, where's the bathroom? And the guy looked at me like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I was like, the washroom. And he's just looking at me. So what do they call it in the U.S.? A restroom?
I call it the restroom. I don't know.
Okay. I'll call it a restroom. It's like the second time it's happened to me where I've said a Canadian word like that, like what we would call it. And I just get this stare. Like,
but I mean, they're sort of connected, and they should have connected the dots.
Well, that's what I was thinking.
He might have been one of those guys that was burning in his dorm rooms and didn't finish school.
He was like, 1 second here, man.
Nice.
Yeah.
So it's Foscor. I guess that's how you pronounce it. They're from Catalonia. Where the hell is that?
Italy? Where is Catalonia?
I don't know. I'm an idiot. Here. I'm the guy burning blunts in the back of the room.
Here. 1 second, dude. I'm just going to look up where it is.
Italy sounds right.
Catalonia is an autonomous community in northeastern corner of Spain.
Okay, cool.
Have you listened to this band?
Yeah, I like it.
I wasn't ready. I just, right before we got on, I started playing the first track on their Bandcamp. And I was like, what is this atmospheric thrash metal going on?
It's like sort of moody, and I like it a lot.
Yeah, I was shocked. I didn't understand the words because it's obviously not in English, but it was
music
amazing.
Is the universal language, though, right?
Absolutely.
All right, let's see if I can get him on. Joan is his name, and here we go.
And hey, Bruce.
Oh, hey.
Sorry. How are you?
Sorry for being late.
No, you're good. How are you?
Fine. Well, I was in the office taking care of some problems at the last minute, and
no explanation necessary, man. Meet my partner, Chris.
How you doing, man?
Hi, Chris. Are you watching me or seeing me or not?
We don't see you, no.
Wait. We will wait.
Now?
I got you. Hey, how are you, man?
Fine. Let me get out the jacket.
You're over in Spain, right?
Yeah, in Barcelona, Catalonia, Spain.
Our geography is really messed up. We had to actually look up where Catalonia was a little bit ago, so forgive us.
You know how we have been dealing with some troubles the last 2 years, and we are keeping there.
Cool, man. Everything going well?
Yeah, everything was fine. I have just returned from for my vacations time in New York. I was for 1 week and a half, and this week I have started again on the daily job and dealing with everything again. So, but I'm
I know. The daily job sucks. I got to do that too.
Yeah. I actually, I can't say that I do, but I kind of do. I'm a kept man.
Okay.
Well, cool. We won't keep you too long. Let's talk about your new record.
Okay.
That's getting ready to come out here in 2019, right?
Yeah.
And now that it's complete and you've had a little bit of chance to sit with it, how do you feel about it? And are you satisfied with the outcome?
It's a thrilling moment for us. The new album should confirm what we started in 2017 with Les Irreals Visions, which was the first album for Season of Mist. And let's say that this album is like, the confirmation of all the tools we started using and concreting at that time. As a part of a trilogy, it makes sense in a whole effort and an act that we could concrete by deciding to use some tools in 2016 before singing with Season of Mist. We are speaking in terms of a lyrical concept, the use of clean vocals and the use of only Catalan vocals. The Catalan in the lyrics, and I think we got to reach something as an own voice in terms of music and in terms of language. Of course, musically talking, the new album is a step ahead in terms of dealing with that kind of way more tragic, emotional music outside the standards of any style. At least is what we see and what we think. Let's see if the audience thinks the same.
Okay. What's your writing process like? You guys all in the same town and writing together, or are you sending stuff back and forth?
We start working on demos by our own at home. Let's say I'm focused on the concept and the lyrical parcel of the band. Then later I'm adding vocal lines to what both guitars of the band composed by their own. It's like different stages that we are complementing. And first of all, they started working on, let's say, 18 songs at least. Over that demos, we were proposing vocal lines and trying to see which of these songs could be the most representative ones and the more workable in terms of concreting that language that we wanted. With this new album, the main goal was to get very clear structures, let's say, more in the vein as a pop band. Let's try to focus on the riff. Let's try to focus our efforts on the melody, and then adding the different layers on vocals, on effects, etc. Perhaps it took us, 6 months or 7. In fact, I think it was the faster composing process we have ever lived. Probably because we already control all that tools that we are using now from the previous album.
So I'd never heard of your band before. And so this morning when we got set up, I decided to listen to Els Sepulcres Blancs. I don't know how to say that word.
Els Sepulcres Blancs.
Els Sepulcres Blancs.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay. And that song was so strange. And I mean that in the best possible way. Because it was like this thrash beat going on in the background of like ambient music.
Yeah.
It was so cool. I was just like, I feel intense yet also relaxed.
Cool. Yeah.
While I was listening to it. How did you guys kind of get to that sound? Is it just a natural thing that you did, or were you consciously trying to pull that off?
If you have digged a bit more into our past catalog, the four first albums, or let's say the first 3 albums, we were exploring that kind of second wave of Norwegian black metal in a, let's say, avant-garde style.
Okay.
At that time, the rage, the wild side of the band was so visible. But at some point, we thought that was not enough for reaching all the palette of emotions and different kind of music we listened and of course enjoyed. We are sons of the late 80s, early 90s music. I mean,
yes.
Of course. And at some point, let's say that our influences could be born into the British doom era, the black metal from mid 90s, death metal, whatever you want, but also from the dark symphonies and ambient music that, for example, labels like Cold Meat Industry could deliver at that time. Everything has been developed and assumed for us, and also many other styles that we listen, as I mentioned, pop, post-punk, pop music, whatever you want. We are now not focused on other bands or languages or styles, but ourselves. And at that time, in 2016, when we were trying to develop our own language, we realized that the key points of our own style were the density, the ambient and atmosphere, the intensity, and the so emotional speech. So, we were picking up from everything, from every parcel, the best tool possible. And now from 2017 with Les Reals Visions, we feel comfortable and confident on how we are dealing with this emotional and partially ambient and intense music that we are trying to deliver.
I thought it was just really, really cool. Like, I wasn't really sure, because we record podcasts 3 to 5 times a week.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I'm going to check this guy out or this band out and, do a little research. And then I was by the time I was done the song, I hadn't done any research because I was just in another planet. I was just going on. I'm going into this interview blind because I just listened to the tune and I couldn't stop being, it puts you in another kind of feeling, which is really cool.
Great. I'm so glad to listen to it.
Yeah.
Do you find it difficult getting that feeling or that intensity transferred into the live setting, or is it pretty straightforward?
No, probably the live set is way more intense in terms of connecting with people. Of course, when someone listens to the album, the experience is way more intimate than the live one, and probably all that wildness that we still have in our music, also with small touches, on live is way more evident. It's difficult. Well, we still have not jumped into stage with this new album. That's true, and this new album is way more calmer than the previous one. So we still need to check within the next and the first gigs how our sound is translated into the stage. Mainly because, for example, if you haven't realized that, the album has no distortion on guitars.
Yeah.
And that's something that will be so different from everything we have done before. Distortion allows you to sometimes to be more confident when you are playing because of, everything is easier. But now we need to control that new tool and try to reach the way more ambient and atmospheric level that we are trying to we are showing.
Nice.
Right.
Let's see.
I can't wait to hear that. That's gonna be pretty neat.
Well, our first gig is in October here in Barcelona in a festival called Fest with The Heavens, Dylan Ardor, Tosha More, Pelican. I think it's the right environment for our music nowadays, but will be so requiring in terms of reaching our goal.
Yeah.
Are you planning on doing a tour, or are you guys going to just do one-offs?
Not yet. We are now closing a run of dates within the Iberian Peninsula, Spain and Portugal, which will be done probably in December. We are now working with Doomstar Bookings as our booking agency, and probably the jump into a way more extensive European tour will be in 2020, and also festivals, etc. Well, our wish will be someday to jump also to the United States, but let's focus ourselves on what we have closer, and first of all our territory. Then, we have a date in United Kingdom in November in Brighton in another festival. But I think that 2020 will be the jump into
a year.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. This is going to be a strange question, and I know that. No, it's cool.
Sorry ahead of time.
No, you're going. You said you're going to the UK in November. What happens if Brexit happens?
Well, I don't really know.
Because you wouldn't be allowed to work there anymore.
Our booker told us, first of all, that if any of us didn't have the passport, guys, get it right now, because we don't know how will work. But again, about how permits, etc., will work, I have no fucking idea.
Well, no, I was just thinking because I have some friends over in London. And they're like, man, we're going to lose freedom of movement, right? We're not going to be able to get around easily. I can't. So, like, if you're booked for a festival, like, I don't know how the EU works, but do you need a work permit to go from country to country?
Nowadays, no. Nowadays, we have freely entrance to the country. But, from the Brexit moment...
you're gonna...
I don't know what will happen with
I don't even think they know.
And with the rest of the bands, perhaps UK is going to be a gap or a hole in the universe for everything from now on, and which will be very strange because all the media and the press, the historical press, come from there.
Strange. Sorry, so I'm not trying to get political or anything. I was just genuinely curious. What's the backup plan for people that have to go in and out of there like they always have?
You are scaring me a lot, man. So
sorry.
All right.
Everything's gonna be fine. Everything's gonna be fine.
Okay. Let's trust it.
Here's a more serious music-related question. So your stuff is so atmospheric and so intense. Is there a message you want your fans to walk away with after listening to one of your records?
Yeah, well, it's not. Well, our lyrics always dealt with humanism. We have always been trying to, from my point of view, explain, let's say, personal experiences, etc. But trying to, inspire people on overcoming their own weaknesses. And let's recover the 2016 moment when we found that key point in terms of concept and lyrical approach to the future albums. Mm-hmm. At that time, we were also worried or interested on connecting that speech with our cultural background, because we thought that besides speaking in Catalan, trying to explain a little bit more where we came from and what is about our cultural background, we found that a moment called modernisme in the late 19th century could be the right point where starting to write from. That moment were described by a bunch of artists that felt not belonging to a sick society. That guys thought that through art, everything could be improved and changed, and tried to, let's say, to see the world with different eyes, trying to find a new balance between humans and between nature. Everything should be poetized. And they, of course, try to work within different disciplines. Let's say literature, art crafts, architecture. Gaudí from here, etc. But in literature, everything was way more poetic. But at the same time, with a social background. I found like a great excuse to use that moment and translate it into the current days. We are all dealing all over the world with a lot of issues, troubles, and problems on social level. So let's say that our music could be again a tool for inspiring people on thinking how to improve their own lives, how to improve and overcome their own weaknesses, and try to get that balance and, let's say, new dialogue between humans. That's the main speech behind the lyrical parcel.
Nice. Yeah.
Nice.
Absolutely. I love that. I think that's a great way to end this. That's just perfect. That was unbelievable, dude.
That was, you said it. So if fans want to connect with you, you guys pretty active social media wise? Where can they find you?
Yeah, sure. Well, in fact, I'm taking care of all social networks. We are also very responsive to messages and to everyone. In fact, again, if our music must be a tool for connecting with people and trying to inspire people, we need to be there because our music speaks of ourselves and how we deal with that threats and troubles that we are all surrounded by. It's easy. Facebook, writing to our email address, Instagram, whatever you want. I mean, we are also always there, and of course, then later on the stage and live moment, we love to get in touch with people and say doing new friends all around the world because. We need to be a collective, a community. It's not just only being a metalhead. It's just being people speaking to the world with the heart. That's it.
We talk about that all the time here. Yeah. It's a great big metal community, no matter where you're from, Catalan, from here in Virginia or in Japan or wherever you are, North Pole. It's still one big metal community, and I'm so thankful for it and so grateful for it for sure.
Me too.
Absolutely. To me, is the real sense of being in a band. How it allows you to connect with people.
Yeah, because I don't even need to know you. You and I could sit in the bar watching a band play and share a beer and be the best of friends. By the time the set's over.
That's how I met this guy.
Right. Awesome. I appreciate you taking the time, man. I know we messed up last time. I'm sorry about that.
No problem at all.
I got my dates wrong.
No problem at all. It's very welcome to be here with you. It's a privilege to me. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Good luck with the record. Good luck with the tour, and hopefully we'll see you here in the States someday.
Really hope so, guys. Thank you.
Be
Cheers,
well, my
brother.
friend. Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, what a nice guy.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, and I really do enjoy that record. I mean, the couple songs I've heard were really. I like that atmospheric thing sometimes instead of just a pounding.
Oh, it was so different than what, like I was expecting. Oh, metal band from Spain. Originally, I thought it was Italy, but Spain.
Right.
I was like, it's gonna be brutal, or it's gonna be operatic, or something along those lines. But
yeah, good stuff.
They proved my prejudice wrong.